Good evening, folks. Matt M. Roy back once again. Back to you with another health related live stream, something that needed to be done. Let me adjust this a little bit here. Hope everybody is doing well, staying safe, all things considering right now. Try to readjust the lighting here a little bit so you guys and gals can see me a little bit better. So what I want to talk about tonight are superfoods. Everybody right now is trying to figure out the best way to stay healthy, the best way to boost their immune systems. And I'm telling you, folks, superfoods are the way to go. Now, what is a superfood? Well, the definition of a superfood is anything that basically will boost your immune system. The quote unquote dictionary definition is a nutrient rich food considered to be especially beneficial for health and well being. So, superfoods, we eat quite a few of them without even knowing it. But there are a majority of us out there that, let's face it, we probably eat too much fast food, too much of the junky stuff that is not nutrient dense. Therefore, we're not getting that in our diets on a daily basis. So I'm going to go over a few of the superfoods here. And this is going to kind of go with something that I purchased at Lidl today. And I was hoping to do a longer video, but I was having issues with bandwidth there. My network wasn't playing nice in there. So I kind of had to cut that one short. But I did pick up a juicer today. They had one on special. And what I'm going to be using that juicer for is to juice superfoods into juice form to kind of make it easier to ingest. Now, we're going to start with the first one here, and this is one that a lot of people forget about, and that is dark leafy greens. So we have a few here: kale, Swiss chard, collard greens, turnip greens, and spinach. Now, any one of those is good. I prefer kale. I'm not a big spinach fan, never have been. But kale is very good. I like turnip greens and collard greens. I've never actually had Swiss chard. That's one I'll have to try in the future. And once again, just not a big spinach fan. The virus starts in your throat and moves down your body, so gargle with salt warm water. Well, it's not what we're actually talking about on this live stream. I'm going to limit this to the superfoods because I don't even want to talk about our current situation. It seems like a lot of people out there are getting very anxious about it, so we are not going to talk about specifics. We're going to talk about what superfoods can do to help boost your immune system for any reason. Doesn't matter what it is. Eric goes, I went into ShopRite today. Oh my goodness, haven't heard that name in years. There are people out there out of their minds. Again, not talking about that stuff today. We're going to keep on track here. I promise we're going to do that. So we'll be talking about superfoods. All right, so number 2, we have berries. Berries have been known for their health properties for millennia now, but what they're talking about here are raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, cranberries, pretty much anything that's tart. So anything like that in the berry family is going to be in the superfood category. Now, there are other things out there like mangoes. We're talking about things like fresh papaya. Those are also in the actual superfood category. Number 3, originally from China, green tea is a lightly caffeinated beverage with a wide array of medicinal properties. Pretty much all tea in general is good for you, but the reason that they consider green tea more of a superfood than like black tea or the mixture of the two is it's low in caffeine. And believe it or not, caffeine can adversely affect your immune system. It can actually make you more susceptible to different infections. So if you're really worried about it, you may want to cut back on that morning coffee. I know, right? It is so hard to do. I am a self-proclaimed coffee addict. So I'm going to try though, because I need to cut back on it. Not just for that, but for other reasons too. Did you pick up anything else at Lidl's that was interesting today? Other than the juicer, not too much. I did pick up some kale, and I did my first juice this evening, though I didn't actually drink it because it was after I started doing my fast. So I'll probably try it out tomorrow morning. Um, and that is one of the things I want to touch on with everybody out there, because there are two schools of thought on intermittent fasting. Now, one, some people say it will boost your immune system, and others say it'll actually degrade it. Now, I found the former. In other words, I found that when I intermittent fast, basically go maybe 16, 18 hours without eating, I noticed that my body feels better. I feel cleansed. My body feels like it has more energy. See, for so many years, we were told that to have a good immune system and to feel like you could weed off any type of infections, virus, bacterial, what have it, that you needed to eat on a regular basis. So we're talking about breakfast, lunch, dinner, maybe snacks in between. So basically eat all day long. Not a lot, but just continually eat. Well, now we're finding out that that's not necessarily the case, because what winds up happening is if you don't give your digestive system a rest, your body has to focus on digesting the food, and it can't focus on fighting off the germs elsewhere. So in my experience, not being a medical doctor, I'm not a medical doctor, so whatever I say here, you're all going to need to take it with a grain of salt. But in my experience, I've noticed intermittent fasting drastically improves my body's ability to fight off different infections, different viruses, what have you. I know it may be good for me, but I cannot drink that kind of juice, fruits and vegetables mixed. I-386, I thought the same thing. The first time I tried a kale, I think it was a kale, blueberry, and apple smoothie from Tropical Smoothie Cafe, I said to myself, I can't do it. This is just going to be gross. But you know what? It was actually really good. And the reason it's good, the fruit overwhelms the vegetables. So you actually have the vegetables in there, but you can't taste them. So in and of itself is a whole plus right there. So I would recommend trying it. You know what? Worst case scenario, you don't like it, you don't do it again. But I can almost promise you're going to like it. All right, folks, let's go on to number 4. This is an interesting one. Eggs. Eggs have historically been a controversial topic in the nutrition world due to their high cholesterol, but remain one of the healthiest foods. Eggs are rich in B vitamins, choline, selenium, vitamin A, iron, and phosphorus. And it does kind of make sense because an egg is a unfertilized embryo. So basically you're getting all the nutrients that normally would form into the baby chick. I know, kind of gross, right? But still very, very beneficial to your health. Legumes. So we're talking about beans, including soy, lentils, peas, peanuts, alfalfa, because yes, a peanut is a legume. It's not actually a nut. A lot of people seem to forget that. I do once in a while, though I don't really anymore, because I have a friend, a dear friend, who was actually allergic to peanuts, and whenever she says it, she's like, "Oh, so you can't have Brazil nuts or almonds or this and that, filberts," and she's like, "No, peanuts, only peanuts, because they're not nuts; they're actually legumes." But if you can have a legume like a peanut, very, very good, very, very beneficial. And then we have nuts and seeds in general. So we're talking about almonds, pecans, pistachios, walnuts, cashews, Brazil nuts. There are those Brazil nuts, macadamia nuts. And then it's funny, the next one here goes peanuts. Technically a legume, but often considered a nut. It's not. Sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds, and hemp seeds. You guys going out and getting your hemp seeds yet? Kefir and yogurt. I'm not even sure what kefir is. Kefir is a fermented beverage usually made from milk that contains protein, calcium, B vitamins, potassium, and probiotics. Kefir is similar to yogurt, but has a thinner consisting, typically more probiotic strains than yogurt. The probiotics are nice because that actually works on your gut bacteria. It actually is gut bacteria. What is it? It's live cultures that go into your body when you ingest probiotics like yogurt, and actually helps digest your food. And believe it or not, other than your throat, your actual your best immune defense is actually in your gut. So if your gut is good, your stomach is a good amount of the good bacteria in it, then chances are you're going to be healthy. So yes, I definitely agree with that. Yogurt, especially the kefir with the probiotics, but you can get yogurt with a good amount of probiotics too. You usually have to stick with Greek yogurt. And I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but you can look in the dairy section of your grocery store and you can find a good amount of yogurts that have probiotics in them. Number 8, garlic. Garlic is something I ingest on a daily basis in one form or another. But anyway, garlic is a plant-based food, basically a good source of magnesium, vitamin C, vitamin B6, selenium, and fiber. So if you're having trouble going to the bathroom, folks, ingest some garlic. You'll not only get that benefit, but it'll actually clean out your pores too. You ever come into contact with somebody who just ate a bunch of Italian food with garlic, and not only can you smell it on their breath, but you can actually smell it coming out of their pores? Well, that's because it's one of those superfoods. It's extremely cleansing on the body. Research indicates that garlic may be effective in reducing cholesterol and blood pressure, as well as supporting immune function. I've read those studies; they're not conclusive, so again, take those with a grain of salt. But I mean, even if they're partially true, that is a really good benefit for eating garlic. Not to mention the fact garlic just tastes awesome. I mean, I love garlic. I put garlic on eggs. I'll put garlic on my pizza. I'll put garlic on almost any pasta out there. Another thing garlic is actually good on that people forget is when I used to eat beef, like pot roast and rump roast and all the good cuts of beef, I would always put garlic on there. I mean, you can even make garlic chicken too. And Aldi actually has garlic flavored ghee. And if you don't know what ghee is, it's basically like the milk fat. You get it in the glass bottles. And I actually make garlic bread out of that. I want to show that to you guys one day when we do a cooking video or a cooking vlog. I'm going to show you how I make garlic bread with the garlic ghee that I get from Aldi. But even if you can only find the regular ghee, you can actually put garlic powder and little bits of garlic in there, and it's absolutely delicious. Number 9, we got olive oil. Again, olive oil is high in monounsaturated fatty acids, the kind of things that they try to put in cereals, but it's not as pure of a form. And once again, if you get extra virgin olive oil, you want cold pressed, or sometimes they call it expeller pressed. That's going to be the best because that's the early pressing of it, basically the most pure of the olive oil. Also has a lot of vitamin E and vitamin K. Ginger. Ginger is also a superfood. Now, ginger is really good in Chinese dishes, and they actually use that as an example here. And I actually forgot to put that in my lo mein when I made it, so dunce on me. But again, very good. High in, where is it here? Doesn't actually give a listing of the vitamins high in, but basically it can manage nausea. It reduces pain from acute or chronic inflammatory conditions. So if you have something like rheumatoid arthritis, ginger can definitely help you there. Turmeric. Not really a big fan of turmeric. It depends on what they put it in, but once again, another superfood. Then we have salmon, and I would go as far as to say a lot of fishes in this are in this category because fish is very high in vitamin B, potassium, omega-3 fatty acids. You've probably heard of fish oil. Um, I think they're saying salmon because salmon is actually the best of the fishes that you can get out there, but pretty much any fish is going to have that benefit. Cod is one of my favorite. You have swordfish, was a little bit drier of a fish. I'm not really a huge fan of fish, though. I do force myself to eat it occasionally, but it is very, very good for your immune system. We got avocados here. Sweet potatoes, again, high in vitamin A and C. And sweet potatoes can actually, they say, reduce the risk of certain forms of cancer. Colorectal, I think, being one. I think the other being, I can't think of it right now. It'll come to me eventually, though. Wow. Okay. This is one I didn't know, folks. Mushrooms. Let's read this. Some of the most common varieties of edible mushrooms are button, portobello, shiitake, cremini, and oyster mushrooms. Thorough nutrient content varies depending on the type. Mushrooms contain vitamin A, potassium, fiber, several antioxidants not present in most other foods. Very, very interesting. Okay, I'll answer that a little bit later. I know what that's about. Due to their unique antioxidant content, mushrooms also play a role in reducing inflammation and preventing certain types of cancer. So once again, everything I'm talking about here is a superfood. So if you're trying to stay healthy, this is definitely the stuff you want to be eating. I'll go ahead and actually share this list here with you. Oh, yeah. And number 16, seaweed. Yeah. Seaweed is a term that describes certain nutrient-rich sea vegetables most commonly consumed in Asian cuisine. So if you ever gotten like bok choy, and there are a bunch of other ones out there too. Bok choy is the most common. It is considered a seaweed and very good. They have vitamin K, folate, iodide, and fiber. Now, iodide is something that you can get in a lot of salts, but here's the thing. It's not natural. It's added in there. It's actually made in a factory. So you're better off eating these sea vegetables that have the natural iodide in it. And you can actually get salt out there like the Himalayan pink salt, which is what I use now on a daily basis because that's natural, non-GMO. It doesn't spike your blood pressure like regular salt does, the highly processed salt. And unfortunately, that doesn't come with iodide. So again, you're better off getting something like eating that has natural iodide and then just foregoing the iodide they usually put in table salt. All right, folks, that's it for this evening. Little short one here. Hopefully everybody's staying safe and healthy. Please continue to like and subscribe. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody.